You click on that one, and you have the sounds.
Whoa.
Hello and welcome to the Sega Nerdcast, episode 51. I am Chris, the editor of Sega Nerds, and with me this week we have the magnificent Kopke.
Hi everyone, how's it going?
Pretty good. We also have Christopher joining us for the very first time.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome aboard. And we also have Jason making his return to the podcast. How's it going, Jason?
Going good.
Awesome. This is going to be...
That's it.
Yes, we have to put a hold on the applause now. But this is going to be a really, really great show for everyone. I'm really excited about it. We're going to have our audio interview with Tom Kalinske, which we conducted earlier this week. It was a one-on-one interview with Tom and myself. It was really great. We talked about some amazing things, some stories that I really only heard for the very, very first time when he talked about it. And really... I think it's the first time some of this stuff has really come to light. So there's some really fascinating information there. So definitely stick with us on the audio side and check that out. For those following on the video side, go to YouTube and you can actually check it out right now on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/user/Sega Nerds. And for the rest of the show, we're going to be talking about, of course, this week in Sega news, but our feature discussion is going to be what we think Sega will be showing at E3 this year. So lots of interesting stuff there. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about what we've been doing this week. And Christopher, since you're the new guy on the show, why don't you start us off and tell us what you've been up to?
It was a good week. I run like 2 gaming nights a week here in Cleveland, Ohio, where I'm from, and I used to run like an international Street Fighter tournament for season meetings here. So I mean, I really enjoy getting to know as many players in the area as I can, and just getting people together with video games. And I did an event with one of our schools to give them like video game entertainment last March, and I'm working with a Microsoft store right now to basically have like schools play against each other in like Madden, like 2K, and obviously if I can get some Sega in there, I will. But yeah, so we're making some progress on that, hoping to have that ready for fall. So that was my week.
Nice.
Wow, that would actually be a pretty cool thing to do, have like school versus school in video game challenges and stuff. I like the idea of that.
Yeah, we're really excited. And
video games.
we're hyped, so yeah.
Hopefully that works out for you. Kopke, what about you? What have you been up to?
Working a lot as always, but this time I'm in a really exciting project. I'm with a British cloth branding. So I hope to unveil that soon, if everything goes well.
Tell me you're going to bring back British Knights.
No. It's just about clothing. It's clothing, and I cannot say the brand right now. It's an international one. But I'm really excited about that because I always wanted to do fashion stuff. And the next thing that I'm really happy today because Atletico de Madrid beat Barcelona and has the Spanish league. And I'm really happy for them because I'm a huge fan of Atletico de Madrid. Each time I go to Madrid, I stay like a bunch of time there, and I really love the team. So I'm really happy for them, and that was a really nice way to start. No, this is a Spanish league. All the championships around the world are closing in because the World Cup is coming up in a couple of days. And so all the championships are closing in. The Spanish league just closed today. It was the last date, and Atletico Madrid got the championship. Also, Bundesliga had the German Cup. It's a side cup, not from the league, but it's another one. And also, Arsenal won the FA Cup today. And tomorrow, our local championship, it has its final. It's going to be between Leon and the other one is Pachuca, and they're going to be playing tomorrow in the afternoon.
Awesome. This is the first time I've noticed this. Do you have Crane's Technodrome on your shelf behind you?
That's right. That's a Technodrome, and it's full of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles inside of it.
That is
and there's
awesome.
And there's also a Doraemon clock there, and if you push the head of it, it says like phrases, but it doesn't have a battery right now. But yeah, the Technodrome is there. I also used to have a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day, and it's full of them. I I don't know, maybe in another day I can open it and you can see I have a huge
awesome. I also collected a lot of Turtles characters back in the day. So.
Yeah, I have a lot of them. I really love that show.
Yeah. Very, very cool. So, Jason, what about you, man? What have you been up to?
I've been working a lot this week as well, but my hard work paid off. I got a bunch of pickups this week.
Nice.
You guys would be interested.
What'd you get?
Start things off, I got myself a complete in-box copy of Turbo Outrun for the Mega Drive.
Whoa.
Wow.
I used to have a boxed-only copy. I figured I'd upgrade it. It's the last of the series I was missing. I picked up Rolling Thunder 2 for the Genesis.
Nice.
My favorite Namco games. And then a bunch of PC Engine stuff as well.
Oh, nice.
Picked up good old Outrun. I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah, we can.
Ah, nice. Yes, we can.
To continue
Amazing.
the Sega theme, I also got Afterburner 2.
Wow.
And then the other two I got were the Tower of Druaga. It's a pretty good
I've
dungeon
never played that
RPG.
one.
And Ninja Warriors.
Very cool. I've never heard about what was it? The Tower of what?
The Tower of Druaga. It was a Namco-produced dungeon RPG.
Like a dungeon crawler?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. I love dungeon crawlers, and there was not a lot of good ones on the TurboGrafx 16. I think it was
Good.
that. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that one.
I don't know. I also had one more thing to show off. I picked up a video game-related shirt this week. It has the Outrun car and the Hang-On bike.
What does it say?
Oh my god.
It says, hey, babe, you want to go for a real drive?
That is awesome. Where do you find that?
Have you ever heard of a Facebook page called Retro Review?
No.
They make a lot of video game-based shirts, and I seen that design, and I just had to get it. They have their stuff on Redbubble.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Actually, I opened the store at Redbubble, and they sent me some free T-shirts of my work, and I got one this week. Just let me show it to you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with our Redbubble account too, because.
And I really like the quality.
Did you see, Kopke, that they're announcing that they're gonna have T-shirts available for designs and stuff too? Now, not T-shirts. I'm sorry, pillows. They're gonna have.
Oh.
That looks
Oh, yeah.
awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I'm actually submitting some of my work there, so
Looks nice.
Congrats.
I can sell some stuff there too.
And then
Yeah, I really love the quality.
their shirts are very quality. They really
Yeah.
are. Them and Spreadshirt too. Speaking of one last thing, I know I'm bombarding the podcast, but
I don't really.
I've also picked myself up a Continue shirt. They're one of my favorite web series.
I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
Continue is very good. It's kind of like a Let's Play, but like a first impressions kind of thing. They usually play a game for about 20 minutes and then decide if they would continue or game over. It's more in the comedy of it.
Okay. Huh. I hear someone like rubbing their mic a lot. I don't know who that is. It stopped now. Okay. Is getting kind of distracting. Okay. Well, awesome. I guess I'll go now. I picked up quite a bit of stuff too, but before I talk about that, I want to tell you guys a little story that's a little disturbing for me. So I had a back injury a few years ago when I was deployed, and we were filling sandbags up, and I ended up throwing my back out. So I've had back issues in my lower back for years now. I've gone through like multiple physical therapy and things like that. And it's been, over the past few weeks, it's been really bugging me. So I was like, man, I just need a back massage and just try to like get it all worked out and everything. So I went on Groupon and I found like a really cheap, I think it was like $30 for an hour massage. And I went up, signed up for it and everything, and made my appointment. And it wasn't until like that day when I called to reconfirm my appointment that I realized, and for some reason I never even thought about it up until that point, that the person that was actually going to be giving me a massage was a guy. And I had like a thing where like I was like, man, I'm never going to let a guy give me a massage. It just is a weird kind of thing, right? Like I don't know if you guys have ever been given a massage by a guy.
If you're a guy, it's just no.
Right. And so then I got to this thing. I was like, man, there's no way I'm not going to go. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to blow it off and everything. And then as the day wore on, my back was really bugging me. I'm like, you know what, man? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go. And so I get there, and the guy that ends up like who wants to do the massage and everything, he's like this real short, almost. He looks like a very tall midget almost, with like kind of long curly hair, and at that point I'm in the thing, and there's just I feel like there's just no turning back. And so we get in there, and we start doing it, and the whole time I'm just like, man, God, like, why did I do this? It was just one of the most uncomfortable things ever. And then so I'm thinking, like, all right, you know what? If you just like imagine that it's a woman doing it, maybe it's not so bad. And I would try to do that for a little bit, and then he would talk, and then it just kind of all like went out the window. And so
talk about?
What's that?
What did you talk about?
he was explaining, like, we were basically we were talking about how I had a lot of like my back was hurt and stuff, and he was kind of telling me what was wrong with it, and like there was like knots and stuff in my lower back and everything. But that was, man, I gotta say, that was one of the most uncomfortable moments I've had in a long time. So I'm not gonna go back. I will say that. I think I'm done with dudes giving me.
Well, at least is your back better?
My back does feel better. So his like little midget hands worked out my back pretty well. So
was it Gilius Thunderhead?
I wish. I would let him give me a back massage any day.
You just fix that shit with magic. He wouldn't even need to touch you.
Just walking in the massage parlor, there's like those little blue magic bottles from Golden Axe laying everywhere.
So I ended up getting some pickups this week too that I'll end up showing you guys. So here in the background, you can see I ended up picking up a Model 1 Sega CD, which I've been needing for a while now. And I also got, what else I get? Oh, I got a Model 2 Sega Saturn with the round buttons, because I needed that one.
Much better.
Wow.
As well. Also got some games. Let's see here. First up, I got Cloudmaster on the Master System, which is a vertical shooter, really kind of a crazy game, but it's really fun, really challenging. Also, I got Exodus: Journey to the Promised Land, which is one of those Bible games. I didn't realize that Wisdom Tree made some games on the Genesis, which is
they made a couple actually.
Yeah.
I think like 4.
And so actually, it's almost like, it's weird. It's almost a complete copy. It comes with instructions and everything, but it looks like whoever owned it just cut out the front and back parts of the cardboard box and just taped it onto what looks like maybe an old Blockbuster box that's also yellow to match the color of the box.
It looks pretty biblical.
Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, I got some. Before I get on that, I got the King of Fighters 99 on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I wanted that for a little bit. And then I picked up some Turbo games. Also, I got Dungeon Explorer.
Oh.
Let's see, King of Casino, which I know everyone wants. This one is actually one that I was looking for a while, because it's one of my all-time favorites as a kid when I owned it. The Legendary Axe on the Turbo, which is a great
really nice
platformer. And also Dragon's Curse on the Turbo, which is one of the more expensive Turbo games. Not one of the most expensive, but it's like a $50, $60 game.
Wasn't Dragon's Curse a port of Wonder Boy in some way, shape, or form?
It was. Yes, it was. Absolutely.
Which Wonder Boy 3, right?
Yes, I think it was Wonder Boy 3. Were you gonna say copy?
No. I never played that one.
Yeah, actually, Lee mentioned that in his last or latest Wonder Boy retrospective. I think part 3 of his Wonder Boy retrospective. I also got one more game that I want to show you guys. Got it in yesterday. Is Ys Vanished Omens on the Master System. And what's really weird about it is a complete copy. But what's kind of crazy is it came with this too. It's actually a printout of like a walkthrough, but has the official Sega letterhead. And I did some research. Apparently, back in the day, if you called the Sega helpline and were having a lot of trouble with some video games, they would actually just print out and mail you out a copy of the information that they use to give out to people who called in. And so you could actually get this mailed in, and this copy of the game ended up having one of these in it. So really kind of cool.
Great history. Yeah, great find.
Yeah, I was really surprised. So it's about 3 pages printed on the front and back. So really excited to have that. Man, it was really neat because I saw this and then I was asking Andrew. I was like, "Have you ever seen anything like this before?" And he's like, "No, not at all." I did some research and it wasn't too hard to find. But there's actually a site out there that I found that actually has PDF versions of all of those that Sega would send out to people. Wow. So you can actually go and, if you want, you can actually download those and print them out yourself, which is pretty neat. So
it's really amazing. Looks like the former owner of that game had a lot of trouble with it.
I'll tell you what, man. This is the first time I'm really playing the Master System version of Ys. I played and beat the PSP remake of Ys 1, and that one wasn't very tough. I didn't think. I didn't think it was that challenging. There were some parts that were more challenging than others, but I'd say it's hard just really getting started on this game. I go out after I buy my sword and my armor, go out and try to get a little bit of money so I can buy a shield, and I keep dying. Like it's very tough.
Is it? It's a 41?
What's that?
No, it's the second one. It's like I don't remember the title sadly, but it has something to do with the sun.
Sorry about that. Google Plus kind of
over
there.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, that's what we've been up to this week. So now we're going to get into a little bit of news, and let's see. I want to see if it will let me share my screen before we get into the news. It looks like it's going to. So the first thing is Sega released a new game this week, and it's probably not a game that too many people were looking forward to or really kind of was on their wish list or anything, but it was Dragon Coins. It was a mobile title that was released on the iOS and the Android platforms. It's all free to play, and it's kind of unique in that it's weird. It's those coin pusher arcade games that you see at like Chuck E. Cheese or things like that, where you drop a quarter in and it'll drop a coin onto the platform, and there's this like little pusher that keeps going back and forth. You can kind of see it in the thing. Well, they take that idea and bring it into this like almost like a tactical RPG setting. It's kind of unique in that, and but what I didn't realize at first is that Sega actually, or not Sega, but there's another one that was released earlier this year called Power of Coin, developed by Probe, which we all know has some Sega ties to it, and it's very similar to that. But I don't know, Kopke, you've been playing a little bit of this game too. What do you think about it?
I think it's nice. It's really refreshing. I thought this was like a good game to be on your road to your work, or like spending a little time while you're waiting in the bank. And I actually found it fun, and I enjoyed it. I actually got a tablet for free, and I said, okay, I'm gonna download this this game from now and try it out, because I never tried mobile games, and so I really enjoyed it. It kind of has a complex system on like evolving your monsters, but it's really nice to just throw in a coin and see what happens, and see how those little creatures suffer from your attacks. They really make really funny noises while being attacked. Yeah, but I really liked it. I actually encourage many people in my area to play that one, and they actually downloaded it and enjoyed it. I received a lot of comments.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's free, all free to play, so it's definitely worth at least a try to see if you might like it.
There's no microtransactions. It's just straight free.
It's all based on microtransactions, and the thing is, it doesn't like beat you over the head with it really. I mean, I played it for quite a while, and I didn't spend any money on it. Because you get like different types of coins within the game that you get through playing the game, through defeating enemies, and kind of completing challenges. You get different colored coins that you can spend in different type of ways, where you can buy upgrades or purchase new monsters to join you. And like Kopke was kind of saying, you can level up your creatures by fusing them with your other creatures that you get. So after you go in and defeat an enemy, you get all these little minion type creatures that are like level 1s and things like that. And usually I just use those to kind of fuse into the creatures that I liked and I wanted to level up. So the leveling system is kind of unique in that, where you're kind of essentially feeding them into your creatures that you want to continue leveling up and things like that. But I definitely suggest you guys give it a try if you haven't. And I don't think it's going to be one of those that is going to be like mega successful or anything like that. But I do think it's a little bit of fun. So
yeah, it's fun.
Right now.
Yeah.
Sounds worth a shot. I might have to actually download that one.
I do, because I think this is it's pretty much meant for phones, but you can also download it and put it onto your tablets too. One of the things that I noticed using on my tablet, some of the character art and some of the lettering looked a little bit pixelated because it was kind of blown up onto the big tablet or the iPad screen, whereas it was probably meant for the smaller iPhone screen. But other than that, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good little game. So
We'll have to download that after the podcast.
No, I'm downloading it now. I'm not waiting.
Don't wait for that. Next up, another new game was announced. This time, it's a new entry in the Shining series called Shining Resonance.
Yes. Where's that applause now? Hit that applause button.
This one is it's not going to be developed by Sega. It's going to be by MediaVision. It's going to be for the PlayStation 3. It's going to be a single-player RPG utilizing a real-time battle system. One of the crazy things about this game is the main character is actually a dragon named...
Oh.
What's that?
No, wow, it's like amazing that they got a dragon instead of a traditional Tony Taka character out there.
Right, and I'm going to probably butcher the pronunciation of his name, but it's Koryu Irvan, I believe, is the name of the dragon. And here's a little brief description of what the story in the game is going to be about. In an ancient continent, a land of gods known as Alfheim exists. A long time has passed since the dragons who were once powerful in this world perished. Its souls were crystallized and scattered about the world. However, a dragon survived, and its name is Koryu Irvan. Seeking the power of the lost dragon, the Imperial Army and church powers, and now a dragon slayer who intends to harm the dragon, have begun to stir. The one who saved the dragon from their clutches was a single young girl, and before long, warriors known as dragon instrumentalists began to gather under your dragon. The dragon recalled the childhood memory of a young girl who saved him when he was injured. It was a reunion of fate. A beautiful and painful story about the girl and the dragon will be told. So...
Kind of an outline like Panzer Dragoon.
It does sound like Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reading all this. And looking at some of the character art that's been put out so far. Sega's also launched an official website for the game so far, and there's not a lot of information out there. But what there is I'm really interested in this game, and it sucks because the likelihood of us getting a port and a translation of this game seems to be relatively small.
Yeah. So it looks like Sega of Japan will have 2 Shining games this year, and we're not gonna get any of those.
Usual.
Yeah, it's Resonance for PS3, but the good thing about the PS3 one is that we are gonna be able to import it, and it will run on our PS3 without problem. The problem will be the language, because there will be no localization for that one. And the other one was Blade Arcus Shining, which is an arcade game, an arcade fighting game with all the Tony Taka characters from the Shining series.
I've heard about that one. That's the one that's going to have Akira and Pai, right?
That's right. No, Akira and Pai will be on Fighting Climax.
Oh, Fighting Climax. I was close.
Yeah.
I have heard.
Shining Blade Arcus will only have Shining characters in it.
Okay.
What would be awesome is if Sega ended up translating this for some of the East Asian territories, like somewhat like they're doing with PSO 2, and then that way you could import it from that region and have a somewhat English translated game if they don't release it over here. But I don't know. We'll see. We're going to still continue to cover the game, even though we may not be able to get it over here, just because I love the Shining series a lot, and it's a bummer that we may not get this game. But we'll see. One game that we are going to be getting, however, is a new entry in the Dreamcast library called Hypertension Harmony of Darkness, and we have a trailer for it that was just actually released at Midwest Gaming Classic a few weeks ago, and I think it looks pretty good. It's a first-person shooter-style game. I think it's running off some sort of I guess it's like the enhanced Doom game engine is what it's running off of, and I'll let you guys kind of take a look through the trailer as we're kind of watching it. It's a mixture of real footage mixed with in-game footage for those who are listening on the audio show. Definitely, if you're listening, go check it out on the website right now. It's I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. The visuals, you'll notice that they don't look that great even when compared to other Dreamcast games. That's because the game's still in an alpha phase right now. It's not even in like a beta, so they're showing very early footage of it. So some of the textures look somewhat bland and not that impressive.
It's giving me a Quake kind of vibe, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like a lot like Quake or the original Doom.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yay. I like it.
One of the things that it looks to be a multitude of different weapons that you're going to be able to use. I mean, I see pitchforks, I see shotguns, like tasers, grenades, all sorts of different things, and it looks like it's going to be an incredibly violent game, which is always a lot of fun.
I'm hoping these cutscenes are as good as Resident Evil 1, that live action.
You know what was a really good and creepy, I think it was a first-person shooter, but it was on the original Xbox. It was called Call of Cthulhu. Did you guys ever play that?
Oh, no.
I've heard of it.
Oh, man, that was a really great game. One of the unique things about Hypertension, though, it's gonna support two-player split-screen multiplayer or a co-op, I believe, as well. So you're gonna be able to actually compete or progress through the game, and it's going to have achievements in it, which you don't see in a lot of Dreamcast games. So I'm looking forward to this. I don't know if it had a release date on it or anything like that, but it's one of those games that we definitely have been keeping our eye on for a while now. So hopefully,
it's actually reminding me a lot of.
What's that?
Have you ever played a PC shooter called Blood?
No, I never have.
Basically, kind of like a Duke Nukem take on horror movies.
Huh.
It looks a lot. It's actually reminding me of it a lot.
I did play Clive Barker's The Undying on PC, and that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Jericho was pretty good too, which was I think it was the sequel.
Yeah, I like Jericho. That was pretty good too. So yeah, if you guys are interested in a new Dreamcast game that's not a shmup, here you go, Hypertension, Harmony of Darkness.
Either a shmup or Rush Rally Racing.
Exactly. And also we're getting Pure Solar HD on the Dreamcast here in June.
I need to get that. That came out for the Genesis, right?
The original Pure Solar did, yep. But the HD version, which is going to be enhanced. Yeah. Obviously, it's not going to be an HD on the Dreamcast. But
it's just going to be a Dreamcast upgrade.
Right. We've been told, though, there's going to be some cool like VMU-style things they're going to be able to do in the game, too. So it'd be neat if they actually implemented some sort of VMU mini-games where you can kind of take it on the go, like you used to be able to.
Soul Calibur and such. I believe it was Soul Calibur.
Yeah, and then I think my favorite VMU game, I don't know if you guys ever played Time Stalkers, I believe it was Time Stalkers? That was the RPG.
Oh, yeah.
During the game, you would collect monsters, kind of like Pokemon-style monster collecting that you'd have, and they would go to this farm-style like pen where they'd all kind of walk around and stuff, and you can I think you could go feed them and kind of take care of them and stuff. but they would also be saved into your VMU. So when you take them around, it was almost kind of like a what was it like? What were that?
Kind of like a Chow Garden, maybe.
Right, kind of like that, like the Tamagotchi things. What were those? Was it Tamagotchi?
Yeah, Tamagotchi. Those little
Tamagotchi.
monster feeder things.
Right. It was essentially like that. It was like a Tamagotchi thing, and you could level them up while you're playing on your VMU, and then insert it back into the game, and then you could actually take them, and they'd be part of your battle party, and they'd be leveled up. And I thought that was really cool.
My favorite was Sega GT. It basically had, like, you would have your own little driver that would be on your VMU, and you'd basically train him, and you do little races, and what money you got from training your driver and having him do races, it would be transferred into your actual Sega GT money.
That's really cool. I never did that, but that sounds
that
awesome.
one was pretty cool. It was awesome.
God,
It's really a shame, like, the VMU thing died with the Dreamcast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Genius idea. When I was in high school, this is like, I'm earning my Sega Ned, my Sega Nerds cred with you guys with this story. So, like, my first girlfriend in high school, it's like, I don't know, we didn't really click. I wasn't really that into her. She would come over, and I would play, like, my little Chow mini game while she was over at my place, and she would end up talking to my mom for, like an hour and a half. I was really engrossed in getting those cherries to my Chow. But my current girlfriend never listens to this show, so she won't know. My ladies back then, but
You're safe for now.
Yeah, it's a bummer that the Dreamcast in so many ways was so innovative and ahead of its time, but it's kind of weird that the whole VMU idea didn't stick around in gaming and kind of spread past the Dreamcast. And
A lot of Sega systems and such were revolutionary in their times.
yeah, it just seems like it'd be so easy a thing to do nowadays. Even if you were to do something with like the Vita and the PlayStation 4, it supports cross-play and everything like that. If you had some sort of added little feature that you could use on your phone or something, when you don't have your Vita with you, you don't have your access to your PS4 or PS3, you could play it on your phone, an app on your phone, and you could kind of do the same type of games. Although they'd be even better, obviously, than the VMU games, but the same style would be able to be there,
I'm not a big fan of the Grand Theft Auto series, but they did something like that a while back when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. They had like a little mobile app you could play with your phone and customize your cars and such.
Yeah.
Like something like that, like a little companion app that you would have on your phone with you.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3. Did you guys play Mass Effect 3?
Yes.
I haven't played 3. I played 1 and 2 though.
So like 3, they had a companion piece with your phone as well, and it's like you actually like had to play it to get the best ending in Mass Effect 3 because you couldn't do all the things in game to get the best ending when the game first came out. So they had this like real simple game where it's like basically like you do one thing and then you've got, I don't know, you can't do anything else for like another like hour or 2 hours. So it's like I like the integration that some of the games are doing with phones, but yeah, I mean to actually make it like another like little video game like the VMU did, it feels like I don't understand why companies haven't taken more advantage of that.
Dead Space did the same thing, I believe. I don't know if it was connected to the actual game, though, but they had a little spin-off to understand the story of the other games.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
It was called Dead Space Ignition, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a series I really need to go back and play. I love the original Dead Space.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I love those games.
One of the best horror games right there. And that and Condemned.
Oh, don't even get me started on Condemned. I could sit here and talk all day about it. Next up in the news, earlier in the week, we posted a story about the E3 floor plans were revealed, and it showed what Sega's E3 booth was going to look like, and it looked actually about a third smaller than it was in the year previous, and it also showed Atlas, which was in another hall completely separate from Sega, and so we kind of talked a little bit about that. Turns out it was completely fake, though. It was not real. Someone posted up some fake stuff and posted it to NeoGAF and kind of spread around the internet. And apparently this year, it's like record number of fake E3 news stories are making the rounds. So we're gonna have to be very careful, from here on out what we end up posting. But that's a bummer. And actually, maybe not so much, because it looked like Sega's booth was going to be smaller, and at a Cop Guy knew you were super bummed when you saw that. You're like, oh no, Sega, what's going to happen? Sega's booth is so tiny compared to everyone else. So you don't have to worry about that anymore, Copy.
Yeah, fortunately. And there's still, I have my candle still turned on, hoping that PSO2 gets announced on that E3.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit in our future discussion.
That's right.
Were you going to say something, Chris?
I was going to say, I've heard nothing but good things about Phantasy Star Online, too. In fact, I was just talking to someone yesterday about it, and I know a lot of people have been playing the PC version, so I'd really like to see, like, outside of the PC, like, a way for us to play it over here.
Like a console version, yeah.
I know. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. One of the things that I saw that I made a point to talk about was I was wondering, and I still am, if Sega and Atlas, if they're going to have joint booths, or if they're going to be next to each other, or what that's going to be, or if they're just going to be completely separate and they're not even, going to act like, they have any sort of connection whatsoever. If they're going to be, kind of completely autonomous.
Like an ex-girlfriend or something.
So, I don't know. I don't know what we can. I think it's probably just a few weeks away. Obviously, early June is when E3 is going to be taking place. So we're going to find out eventually, probably here within the next week or so, what the official floor plans are going to look like. But yeah, so we apologize for posting this up, and it was turned out not to be real. Kind of sucks. Those bastard people on the internet.
You can always believe the internet.
Why don't we check our sources on the internet?
Right.
For a journalist, man.
Yes, exactly.
For
a little bit of good news, though, we will share our screen here. Hover, Revolt of Gamers, which, as we all know, is somewhat inspired by Jet Set Radio, and also has Hideki Nagayama, I believe, hopefully I pronounced his name right, attached to it. He's going to be doing the music in the game, at least some of the music. What's that? Naganuma, right?
Hideki Naganuma.
There we go. Thank you, Copy. They posted a new update yesterday. They've reached the Wii U stretch goal of, I think it was $100,000. So that means there's going to be a Wii U game, which is big. And I think that's actually the last stretch goal they had. Their initial goal was $38,000. Right now, and with 5 days to go, they're a little over $103,000, which is excellent. Really excited for those guys. So one of the big things that they were saying with the Wii U version is that they're going to have to kind of go back and restructure a lot of the game, because apparently the Wii U isn't as powerful to be able to kind of contain or run the game in its current form, or what they really plan on doing with it. So they're going to have to go back and kind of remodel some of the game, retool a little bit to kind of focus more on the Wii U, but also take advantage of some of the cool things that the Wii U does, like with the gamepad and some of the the off-screen gameplay that you can do. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have pledged to that. I definitely did. I think I'm in an early beta access or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, really excited for this game.
That game me, you, and B were talking about last time I was on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Looks like it may actually be a thing.
And it also rings a bell, like, Sega, what are you doing? Why aren't you launching a new Jet Set Radio title? Because this is selling.
Where is the IPs we know and love?
Yeah.
What's funny is that I think this is the first somewhat Sega-related Kickstarter game that we have covered that actually succeeded. Because
there's been over-succeeded. Over-succeeded.
Yeah, but there's been a lot that have failed that we have covered over the past few months and year. I mean, like the Booger Man, the Mutant League Football, or Mutant Football League.
Oh, they were trying to do a Mutant League Football, and it failed? Man, I would have given up, like, I don't know how many paychecks to get that made.
They're going to relaunch it. They're going back and working on the game. They're going to relaunch it. But Mutant Football League. We actually had Michael Mindheim, the creator of the original series. We had him on the show a while back, and he talked to us quite a bit about the game and everything. But unfortunately, it did not get pledged, or I'm sorry, kickstarted, and then there's a few others. But man, what a bummer.
One I've been meaning to check on. I don't know if you've heard of it. Have you ever heard of the 90s arcade racer?
What's that?
Yeah. It's one like Daytona USA, right?
It's supposed to be a combination of Daytona USA, Sega Super GT, and 500.
Wow.
Huh.
Actually, looking in on that, it was actually funded.
Nice.
Oh, that's news.
The footage looked really nice from that one.
It looked very good.
Yeah.
It's actually out for Wii U, Android, iOS, Windows.
Huh. Now we're going to do a little bit of Japanese news. I'm going to turn it over to our man who covers Japan, Aki.
Well, when I can, not always. But the thing is that Japanese Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed was launched at Japan this week, and it really did well. People were really excited about it, and what really took my attention was that some of the Japanese media were apologizing for comparing this to Mario Kart because the game was actually different from it, and the people were really happy to have this really nostalgia passages on the game, and it was received well. It also happened that Steve Lysett gave some interviews for Japanese media and revealed some of the stuff that was in development for the game that we weren't able to know. Like, for example, on the original pitch, there was Wonder Boy pitch on the original roster, but didn't make it on the final round. And there's also these things about the Japanese release from the voices, the actor voices that subbed the game. You know, the actress that made the voice for Alex Kidd on the Sega Gaga game is making the voice for Alex Kidd on this one for the Japanese audience. And there's stuff like that I will be trying to translate it on the week so we can know what was it about until I had time for it. And the other one is there are 4 new characters coming for Fighting Climax, which is a crossover between Sega and Dengeki Bunko, which is a light novel publisher at Japan. And these 4 new characters, there will be 2 from 2 different IPs from Dengeki. One which is the regular at the Magic School Academy. The 2 characters from that novel will be Tatsuya, and the other one it's Mitsuki, I think, which are the 2 main characters of the series, which are brothers and are in this magical technological academy. And the other ones are the main characters from Toradora, which Taiga will be a playable character, and there will be the other protagonist will be the assist player. So that's the only 2 Japanese news we have for this week. That's it. And Chris is gone.
I'm back from my potty break. I'm sorry. And now, in the audio podcast, we're going to get into our interview with Tom Kalinske. For those of you who are tuning in watching the video podcast, like we said earlier in the show, you can go onto our YouTube channel and check that out. Or if you'd like, go onto our audio podcast and listen to that. So we're going to get into that right now. And welcome back, everyone, after listening to that great interview with Tom. Really, it was a huge pleasure and honor to talk with Tom Kalinske. I have to say, that was probably the greatest moment that I've had personally running Sega Nerds, talking with Tom. Because I was talking to my wife about this, and I got to be honest, I was getting a little nervous before the interview. And she's like, wow, I've never seen you nervous before when you've interviewed someone. Because, I mean, in my line of work, I mean, I'm a journalist. I interview people all the time, and I've been doing it for like 14 years now. I never get...
Important.
What's that?
I said when it's someone that important,
Exactly. I was telling my wife, I was like, look, if it wasn't for Tom Kalinske, Sega Nerds probably wouldn't even be around. We probably wouldn't be here doing this.
We know each other.
Exactly, and I was like, he orchestrated, and he's not solely responsible for the success of Sega, obviously, but he was really the driving force behind a lot of that, and to be able to talk with him, one-on-one was, man, I got to say, it was just a huge honor. I really appreciate him, speaking with me, but just even. Not including, Tom, but talking with Al Nilsson last week and talking with Blake Harris yesterday, we've had a lot of really great interviews over the past week or so. And if you guys haven't listened to those, we definitely suggest you do. But, Tom, man, it was a really great time talking with him. And I hope we can do it again sometime. I really do. So.
And you realize what a great person he was directing a company like this, like Sega. Once you hear him talk, so I was impressed by that.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent guy. You could, man, he was really on the ball with everything, and he told some really great stories. So, anyway, let's get into our feature discussion, and it's what to expect from Sega at E3. And what we're going to be doing is completely making stuff up. We're going to be basically, giving our most educated guesses on what we think.
Shenmue 3 confirmed.
I love
Half-Life 3.
Someone tweeted us earlier when we talked about this. I can't remember who it was now, but they did I think it was hashtag Shinmu, and the last was with the E on Shinmu was capital E3, so Shinmu 3 E3. It was I thought that was pretty clever. So
let's hope for that one. Well, I think they're gonna throw in a couple of re-releases, restored ones, and those kind of, I don't know if they're going to be Saturn ones or Dreamcast ones, but I think they're going to throw in like 1 or 2 titles from that. And I also think, well, we obviously know that Sonic Boom and Alien Isolation are going to be there. But I also think we're going to hear a little bit about mobile titles. And let's hope that they announce something related to Phantasy Star Online 2. But I think it's hardly going to be. Yeah.
What's interesting is last year, Sega announced the 2 big games weeks ahead, or even months ahead of E3. I mean, they announced Sonic Lost World, and then they announced, Castle of Illusion, about 3 or 4 weeks before E3. And so we knew there wasn't really any big surprises at E3 last year with Sega.
What they were.
Right, we already knew what they were, and really that's what, I think that's, a lot of companies are doing that nowadays. I mean, you saw Microsoft where they released some information on Halo 5 Guardians a few days ago. I think what they're doing is just trying to get out ahead of all the big E3 news blitzes where a lot of these games just kind of get lost in the shuffle. I mean, there's just so much news going around, and a lot of people just don't get it. So they're trying to get out earlier, trying to launch or release some of this information. That way they can have some of that spotlight. It doesn't, I don't know. Sega hasn't done that this year, so I don't know if it's a fact that they're changing tactics this year and waiting until E3 to release some of this information, or if there's just really not a lot of big surprises out there. Last year they showed Sonic Lost World, Castle of Illusion, Company Heroes 2, which was developed by Relic, Total War Rome 2, and they also had the mobile version of The Cave, and that's what was playable on the show floor. So I don't know what you guys. I'll quickly run down. This is some of the games that I think are most definitely going to be at E3. No surprises, and I'm not sure though if all these are going to be in playable form or if they're going to just be showing some gameplay footage or some sort of combination. Like Kopke, you said, Alien Isolation. That's absolutely going to be there. I think that will most likely be one of their featured games. I think that they're really going to be pushing Alien Isolation there. Sonic Boom, I would love to see either if they had a playable version of Sonic Boom, that would be amazing, or just some more new different gameplay footage would be great as well. Hatsune Miku Project Diva F2 will definitely be there. Right. We have Crazy Taxi City Rush, mobile title.
We know actually.
That's going to be that'll probably be there as well. I'm also thinking that they may show the Western Front Armies, which is DLC of Company Heroes 2. That may make an appearance as well because it's going to be released in the months coming after E3. I think July or August, something around there. That DLC pack, so that could be there as well. Also, Hiroki, I don't know if you guys forgot about that. That's a mobile game developed by some sort of European developer. I can't remember their names offhand, but I want to say they're Swedish or Dutch, something like that. Just a very small studio of a few guys, I think, working on that, but it looks really cool. And then also Sonic Jump Fever. I think that was recently released on iOS, but that could also be there too, just because Sega wants to showcase some more Sonic mobile stuff. So
I want to say in some way, shape, or form that we might get an announcement of the 3D classics, the ones we have in Japan.
Right, that was another thing that people brought up on the forums.
It might be a shot in the dark, but I have a feeling they might make some announcement, or at least have playable versions.
Yeah. So what were the next round of 3D DS games? The 3DS.
It was Outrun. The other one was Fantasy Zone, and
Afterburner 2 was the last one.
That's right.
Outrun, the most recent. Fantasy Zone before that, and Afterburner was the first one in the last set.
Yeah, I really think that we can expect some of those 3D games. Christopher, what about you? Do you think, as far as what you think Sega could have in store from a surprise standpoint, what can you speculate? What do you think they could be doing there?
Dragon Force 3, let's go. Dragon Force 3.
Oh, let's hope that. But
another Yakuza game with zombies, probably, and Skies of Arcadia sequel.
That could be nice if they throw in the Skies of Arcadia re-release for PC and Xbox One.
That would be absolutely amazing.
I side with Guardian Heroes on this one.
Yes, oh my god.
I would love a Guardian Heroes too. Oh. Words cannot describe what I would want.
See, when I think E3 and Sega, I still think of 1996 when Sega won the show, but it obviously didn't translate to sales. So my focus on Sega is I'm kind of stuck in the glory days. I'm not as stuck on the newer The new Shining game comes out here. I'll definitely play that. That would be amazing. Maybe in a year from now we can get that. Oh, you know what? I did hear that Valkyria Chronicles 3. I know this isn't E3 related, but I'd love to see Valkyria Chronicles 3. I was actually at the Tokyo Game Show when that was coming out in Japan, and I read that was being fan translated, and the project had just recently completed. Have you guys heard about that? Because that's a new game that I would be really into.
I would love that. That would be incredibly awesome. I think from a realistic standpoint, I think, Kopke, I think you and I were talking about this last week. This E3, I think, is probably the last chance we're going to get for Sega to announce something PSO2 related for North America. If this E3 it comes and goes without any showing with Fantasy Star Online 2 for either Vita or the PC, I think we can pretty much kiss it goodbye, that they don't plan on doing anything with it. If they did show Phantasy Star and say, hey, this is the release date, we're coming later this year, this is what we're going to be doing, I think people would go absolutely apeshit over it, and people would be very, very excited to finally get PSO2 here. I think that alone would pretty much make people very happy with Sega at E3. Another thing is just, it would be great to see some, if Sega decided to continue some of the digital versions of re-releasing some of the Dreamcast games that they were doing last generation. We got the Dreamcast collection. If they wanted to come out with a sequel of that and bring out some more of the Sega Dreamcast games, that would be a really cool thing that they could do. And it's not that expensive to do that. These days, lots of companies are coming out with these collections, and obviously the big one that everyone really wants is a Shenmue 1 and 2 HD re-release. Which, man, that would be, I think, from something that's both somewhat realistic and also a pipe dream, that would probably be the one that I would pick. Would be possibly Sega showing like a Shenmue 1 and 2 HD there. That would be amazing.
In Japanese.
See, as an HD remake or an HD port at least, they've never ported Daytona 2 or Sega Super GT to a console. That would make good money as well. I mean, everybody's been dying for a port of Daytona 2. It just never happened.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if they release like Space Channel 5 and Sky Surfer Kitty and Shenmue 2, that would be big for Sega. But this E3, they have a big chance to make it big for in at least 3 years for now. Like having Alien Isolation, Sonic Boom, and if they manage to announce Phantasy Star Online 2, man, this is gonna be the biggest show for Sega at E3 in the last 3 years, and I hope they do it. But I don't know, maybe they won't.
Or maybe an announcement of Phantasy Star Online 2 and the new Shining game.
Or even the Shining game. If they don't announce Phantasy Star Online 2, a Shining game would be nice. I agree with that.
Or if they announced Hero Bank coming to the 3DS here in North America, I would shit bricks because I want to play Hero Bank on the 3DS. I got involved into the cartoon. I've watched every episode. I really like it. I want to play that damn game. I really do. I'm thinking about importing it. It
has a lot of Sega Easter eggs in the game. You know, you go to Joy Police, you battle the Segalion. You also go to a lot of Sega-related places. You have Sega music in the game. Yeah, it has a lot of Sega-related stuff. It looks really
damn
nice.
it, Sega! Get your shit together.
Oh, Sega.
We need to take control of Sega and just make everything we want released.
Yeah, sometimes
it would be awesome for a Sega Gaga too, and just be like, all right, everyone's unhappy with Sega, so here's what you do. How about you try to fix Sega and
and run the company and save it from.
Just all of us saving Sega. I like it. Sounds like a good plan.
Or we just bring Tom Kalinske back. How about that?
Oh man, that would be nice. That would be awesome. Let's do that. Let's vote for that.
Twitter campaign. Go.
Go.
What's our hashtag?
Kickstarter. Have all my money.
Yeah. We're gonna start a Kickstarter campaign to bring Tom Kalinske back. We're gonna kickstart. We're gonna buy Sega. The internet will then own Sega, and then we'll hire Tom Kalinske to run it, and Al Nielsen will be back.
Shut up and take our money.
Yeah. Those will be the stretch goals.
Yes. And then, I don't know.
First Sega and then the world.
Oh, man. I've been reading too much Console Wars. You guys got to check that book out. It's awesome. All right, so I don't know if there's anything really more to say with Sega and E3. It's coming up soon. I think here in the next week we should start hearing some more real news with Sega in regards to E3. Hopefully they'll be announcing what is going to be coming. Honestly, I really just with the way Sega's going nowadays, they're really playing it safe. They're not that company that takes a lot of chances anymore. They're releasing games that are very safe, that they know are going to sell well. They're have established franchises, and they're not taking a lot of chances anymore. So honestly, I don't really expect to be blown away. I think these games that we mentioned already are probably what's most likely going to be there. But anything else obviously is going to be really cool. But I'm not expecting a lot.
We forgot one title that might get in the show, Bayonetta 2.
Oh yeah, Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 will definitely be shown, but I don't think it's going to be shown by Sega. I think Nintendo will be showing that.
Yeah, but it has to do with it, so.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the games that makes me want to buy a Wii U. I was actually watching the Bayonetta movie, the anime, a few days ago, and there's an anime.
Check that out. I love Bayonetta.
She is so hot.
In my opinion, that was one of the greatest new IPs.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that game. I have it sitting on my shelf somewhere up there. So let's get and talk a little bit about what we've been playing this week, because everyone likes to talk about the games they've been playing. Chris, how about you start us off? Tell us a little about what you've been playing.
Not tell you how excited I was to see that Shining Force Final Conflict got translated into English a couple years ago. So it's the missing link between Shining Force 1 and Shining Force 2, which on the surface really don't have story-wise a lot to do with each other. And like I'm a huge Shining Force fan, and like Sega CD is kind of like the sequel, to the story in Shining Force 1 and everything. Yeah, this Game Gear is like this Game Gear title, which obviously never came out in English. is the missing link between 1 and 2. So yeah, I mean, I just found that out like a week ago, and I couldn't believe that it existed. Number one, I had no idea, and then it had been recently translated. So
was this like a fan translation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. I was wondering. I was like, I've never heard of this getting a real release or anything.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the game so far?
The internet, and I found it. So yeah, I'm really hyped.
Is it somewhat like along the lines of sort of Hyja?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the third. I believe it's the third Game Gear Shining Force game, and yeah. So I mean, graphically, it's pretty similar to sort of Hyja and everything.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the game so far?
It was released in Japan. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just asking, what do you think of it so far?
I mean, dude, it's Shining Force, so, I mean, it could be one battle. It could be, like, the same battle, and it, take, like, 2 hours or something to beat, and I would play that one battle forever, as long as it gave me, that story. What happens to Max? We don't know. Now I'm going to find out. I'll report back. We'll see what happens.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm also a huge Shining Force fan, and I've been playing sort of Hyja on the 3DS, which is really great. One of the things that was just really, this is the first time I really got into sort of Hyja, because when I had a Game Gear, I was never able to get it as a kid, and then when I got it years later, that game was always really expensive, and I just was never able to, kind of put down the money to get it. But it's really impressive how long that game is, because it's kind of big, especially for a Game Gear game. They were able to cram a lot into that little cart. I was really impressed with the length of the game. I haven't even beat it yet. I know I'm really close to the end. Haven't completed it yet, but it's an impressive game for sure.
It's one of the rarest Game Gear games right there.
Okay.
One of the rarest.
I played it. I never had it. I remember seeing it in Best Buy when I was a kid, but I had a Sega CD when I was little. Fortunately for me, play some great games. So I got to play through Shining Force CD, which I believe sort of Hyja is the second chapter in the Sega CD version.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's long. Yeah, it's really good. And I can imagine the Game Gear one being equally as good, just with different music.
I was trying to actually bid on to win Shining Force 3 on the Saturn. That game's really expensive these days too. But man, what do you feel about the decision to go with like a polygonal like characters and stuff in that game, because they look like utter shit today. They did not hold up well at all. I think it would have been so much better to just go with like this like the hand drawn sprite style. I don't know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, or I love Shining the Holy Ark. I'm a huge Saturn fan as well, and I really like the pre-rendered sprites. I don't know what you call when it's a pre-rendered like that, but yeah, I love the way the character models look in Holy Ark. I would have preferred. Yeah, exactly. I wish all of Shining Force 3 looked like that as well. I've almost beaten all through the third chapter of 3, and then my Saturn internal memory crashed. So now I have to put all 3 Shining Force 3s over again, which I'll do. I agree. Yeah, I don't care for the graphic style as much, but I mean it's a great game, and it's
maybe like pre-rendered sprites on a 3D background, something like that.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Like almost exactly like the Ark was.
Yeah, I've never been able to play that game. It's one of the I've always really wanted it, and I've never really was able to get into much of the Shining games on the Saturn just because of how much they cost. They were always really expensive and kind of hard to find, and back in the day, I just didn't have the money to spend on it, and nowadays they're really expensive. They're going up in price, like almost by the month nowadays. So
almost everything, like RPG wise, for Sega is going up a lot. Like me and you were talking earlier today about Phantasy Star 4.
Yeah.
What's that worth now?
I want to say somewhere around the 60 to 100 range. I bought a complete in-box copy for 60 not too long ago.
That's the thing. It's like there's this big retro revival going on right now. Everyone wants to go and go back and play these games. So the prices are going up on all these games. Not just even.
It's because of the retailers. Because most people see like, I want to use. I know it's an example from the dark side, but it's a good game. Everybody wants it, but people charge so much for it because people want it. It's not like something rare like Castlevania Dracula X, where people say, "Oh, this was a rare game. They didn't have that limited of a print run for it." then we could charge a lot of money for it, but not like simple common games. Everybody's charging a lot for simple common games, and that's why the market's all messed up.
Yeah, I agree. And if you go and look on eBay on a lot of these stuff, it's guys that just have these like buy it now, sales of these games that are priced ridiculously high. It's a mistake to go on eBay and try to complete or really fill out your Turbo Graphics 16 collection, because these games are so expensive on there. It's just
that's why I don't really use eBay. I'm more of a fan of Amazon. Like, I'll use eBay for certain things I can't find. Like, take the Tower of Druaga and Ninja Warriors, for example. You can't find Amazon listings for those. But on Amazon, I found both that Turbo Outrun and that Rolling Thunder 2 for about $15, $20 a piece.
That is not a bad price at all. Wow.
That's why I prefer Amazon over eBay.
Yeah. And Christopher, I have to apologize for hijacking your what you've been playing. So please continue.
No, that's about it. I'm also a huge Metal Gear fan, so I'm also replaying Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 right now. Because it's a whole other long story I'm not going to go into, but I started running this video game entertainment business, and my girlfriend hates video games, so I'm always trying to find like games that she will be like engaged by, and Metal Gear, has a theatricality and everything. I was thinking Snatcher as well, because Snatcher is practically like a radio drama with pictures.
Great, I need to get that one down.
So I'm playing Kojima games as well right now, and kind of seeing if she'll be like, tangentially interested in what I have going on over there, but no success yet.
That's funny. Let me know if you have any success, because my wife also hates video games. What's funny is like there's been only a few games that I've been able to somewhat get her interested in, and that was the Walking Dead games. She kind of was into that. She liked watching me play. And what was also weird was DayZ. She also liked watching me play that, which is kind of cool. We're both big zombie fans. Like she loves watching zombie movies and stuff with me, but video games she hates. But she liked the idea of kind of starting out with nothing and just having to try to survive in DayZ, and she'd watch me play that quite a bit. But really, those are only a couple games, and she gets into like Tetris. She'll play those like Tetris style puzzle games and things like that every once in a while. But when it comes to like a real video game, sit down and play, she wants nothing to do with that. Thankfully, I have my sons and daughter. They'll play with me. So I was having another game that I bought that I didn't talk about was Fighting Masters on the Sega Genesis, which is this really awful a fighting game on the Sega Genesis.
I know what you're talking about.
It's a really bad game.
So difficult and so bad.
But it has some unique characters. I want to say, some of that is pretty cool. But I had my daughter sit down with me and play that this past week, and they're actually having quite a bit of fun with that. So, anyway, Christopher, was that all you had going on this week as far as gaming goes?
Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Jason, what about you? What have you been playing?
I've been playing Tower of Druaga, like I just picked up. Also, this has been like a kind of Genesis fighting game kind of week for me. I've been playing a lot of Rolling Thunder 2. Like I said, I got into Skullgirls earlier this week, and I've just been playing the hell out of that, working on chain combos and such. And then also back to Phantasy Star 4 and ActRaiser on the Super Nintendo. I've been playing a lot of.
Oh, nice.
ActRaiser is one of my favorites. I'm literally right at the end. It's just that final boss rush I can't get past.
Very cool.
At the end of ActRaiser, pretty much you have to take down at least every single final boss, and then whatever health you have left over from that, you have to take on the final boss, and it just gets very difficult.
You know what? We probably had one of the coolest comments while we're doing the show that we've ever had. We had Greg Johnson commented on the show and said, "Don't forget about that Toe Jam and Earl guy." I think he was talking about as far as who we've had on the show that we were huge fans of, and it was awesome. I don't know if you guys realize, but Greg Johnson is the creator of Toe Jam and Earl, so that was I'm glad he was able to tune into the show for a little bit. And yes, Greg Johnson, I have to say, man, he was great to have on the show. I was working on getting Greg on the show for a long time. We had to wait a little bit because he had a new game coming out on the PS3. I don't know if you guys got a chance to play that, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was a big pleasure having Greg Johnson on the show. And Greg, if you're still listening, I'm going to be contacting you soon because we want to feature Toe Jam and Earl as one of our future Game of the Months. And with the Game of the Month club that we've been doing is the last week of our Game of the Month within that time frame is we would love to try to get the creators of those games on the show and talk about it. Kind of have like a post-mortem / retrospective on the games. I don't know if I haven't officially announced it yet, but we've been working on getting Ed Annunziata on the show next week or the week after to talk about Echo the Dolphin, because as you guys know, Echo the Dolphin is our Game of the Month right now. So I'm hoping we can get Ed on, and here in soon we definitely want to feature Toe Jam and Earl, and hopefully we can get Greg on the show. That would be awesome.
That's one of my favorite original Sega games.
Yeah,
for a long time,
actually,
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that Greg made my day that day because Toe Jam and Earl was a really significant game for me and my brother, so that he was on the show was really special for me that day.
We showed him some of your fan art too, the alternate cover.
Nice.
Remember that?
Yeah, that made my day really. I felt really shy, like over there.
Yeah, that's like if we were doing an episode on Yu Suzuki, and I'd just be like, well, what do I say?
Exactly, that's what happened. It's like
one of the things that selfishly, I'll talk a little bit about this before we get on. Is it's been awesome to be able to kind of use the Nerdcast to talk to really some of my childhood heroes that made these games that were so important to me as a kid. To be able to go back and talk to these guys that created these games, and not only just the games, but were behind some of these special moments that I had with my family, with my brothers, my cousins, my friends, and stuff. And to be able to go back and talk to guys like Greg Johnson, Ed Annunziata, Michael Mindheim, and all these other really amazing game developers, man, I love it. And selfishly, it's great because I get to do that, and I get to use kind of the Nerdcast as a vehicle to be able to talk to these people. But man, I can't tell you how happy I have been to be able to talk to these guys. It's been a big pleasure, and kind of one of the reasons why I love doing the Nerdcast is because I get to do that. So, absolutely. So, Greg, we will be getting back in touch with you soon. Kopke, do you want to talk about anything that you've been playing this week?
I only been playing Dragon Coins because it's the only thing I had time for. So I already told you about it. So that's pretty much it. I've been working so much. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to play that much.
Yeah, I've been playing. Like I said, I've been playing Ease on the Master System, and man, it's been kicking my ass. It really has. I talked a little bit about it. And that's what people told me on Twitter. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be playing this game. They're like, prepare to grind. And you know what? I would love to be able to grind if I don't get killed by the first goddamn monster I attack. That's the problem. Is I keep getting killed and I have to start over, and it sucks so bad. One of my issues with the game is okay. So you start off in the game. You start off with 1,000 coins, and one of the things that you first have to do is you have to go and buy a sword. You have to buy a shield, and you have to buy armor. And then you have to go talk to this mystic who will give you kind of like one of your first quests in the game or whatever. And before she'll actually tell you anything, she says go and arm yourself or go and gather your items. And so you have to have, I guess, all three of those things before she'll talk to you. But you don't get enough opening money to be able to go and buy a sword, shield, and armor. One of the things that you can do, though, is you can go buy at the item shop like a sapphire ring, who this guy at the pub is looking for. So you go and buy the sapphire ring. You spend all your money on it because it's about 1,000 coins. You spend all your money, you buy the sapphire ring, and then you go take it to this guy at the pub, and he gives you 1,500 coins. So you actually, you make a little bit of money, 500 coins off that. But even with that 1,500 coins, you still are like 100 coins shy of being able to buy a shield after you bought a sword and armor. And so then you're like, okay, well, I just need a little bit of money. I can go outside and go, kill some monsters and grab that money in no time, right? Wrong, because literally I get killed almost immediately. So it's been very
punishing.
Yes, man, I can't say. And I beat the remake on the PSP. It was a great game. I really loved it. The soundtrack is awesome. I don't remember having this kind of problem, with the PSP version. I'm going to say I'm going to keep at it, though. I'm going to keep playing it and continue on. But, man, it is very punishing so far. I've also been...
You have to just keep grinding.
Yes, I'm going to try to do that. It's easier said than done when you're dying, and then you have to start over. You have to start completely over and do the same thing again and again. You have to go to the item shop, buy the sapphire ring, go to the pub, give the ring to the guy, get your money, go to the weapon shop, then go to the armor shop, then go outside, die, rinse and repeat. That's what I've been doing basically.
Do that, die.
Yeah.
Get activated and go grind more.
So I'm probably just going to get made fun of by everyone on Twitter now, and that's okay. That's okay. I've also been playing some Echo the Dolphin on the 3DS. Been going and playing that. I have to say that I've been cheating a little bit. I use the I think it's called Life Fish code. If you go and use that code in the game, you're essentially able to have unlimited air in the game. You don't have to come up for air, which is one of the biggest things that killed me playing it, throughout the years, is just running out of air and dying. That makes it a lot easier, I have to say, but it's still a very challenging game. Just some of the puzzles, trying to figure out what you're supposed to do right now. I don't know if you guys have played Echo the Dolphin a lot and how familiar you are with it, but yep. I'm right at the point where you have to go and rescue all the other dolphins that got separated from the pod. Do you remember that part?
Yep.
So I'm trying to find I think I found 2 of the dolphins, brought them back up to its brother or whatever it is. I don't know what dolphins call each other. But yeah, so they're all hanging out together now. And I guess there's another one that I have to find somewhere. So I've been having a little trouble finding that next dolphin on there. So we'll see. I'm going to continue playing that when I can. But that's pretty much what we've been playing this week. Really quickly, before we head out, I do want to give a little bit of side stuff that I want to tell everyone about. Once again, please go and check out our YouTube interviews with Tom Kalinske, Al Nilsson, and Blake Harris. You can find us on YouTube. It's youtube.com/user/Sega Nerds. There's actually a whole playlist right there with all of our interviews in that, and we're going to continue adding more of those as we continue on speaking with amazing Sega people. Also, check out some of the latest features on the site. Jason, we just published his Outrun 2019 piece, which was really good. I was really happy with that. We published that today, I believe. Right, Jason?
Yep, went out this morning.
Went out this morning. Go check that out. There's a YouTube embed where you can check out what Outrun looks like when it's rolling, and then there's also a SoundCloud clip that you can play of one of the songs, which is one of Jason's favorite parts of the game. Is the game soundtrack.
Outrun 2019 soundtrack just shines over the rest of the game.
Absolutely. Tomorrow is going to be really awesome because we were going to be airing the newest addition to the Ages of Sega video series. Is going to be coming out. I won't spoil it, but it's going to be another SG-1000 game. I've already seen it. It's really, really good, but Zachary's behind that, doing some really awesome work with the Ages of Sega, so please check that out tomorrow. Come back and view that. Next Wednesday...
Is that going to be on YouTube?
That is on YouTube. Also, we have a playlist for that. If you want to go in and check that out, there's, I think, 10 videos in the Ages of Sega series already on there. And if you want to learn more about the SG-1000, which is Sega's very, very first system, it wasn't the Master System. The SG-1000 was the very first system that Sega ever created. And Zachary will teach you all about it. And it's a really great series, very informative, and just really good. I'm really so thankful that he's joined us and brought the Ages of Sega series to Sega Nerds. Also, this Wednesday, we're going to be publishing our new feature. It's called Puzzle Columns, and it's all going to be about Sega puzzle games. The first one that we're going to feature is columns. Who would have thought that? But yeah, we already. I took a look at the article today, and it looks really good. We have it all set to go, so that's going to be coming up Wednesday by JP. Really excited to see that. And also,
Andrew's gonna love that article.
Yeah, absolutely. Tons of awesome Sega puzzle games throughout the years, man. There's just going to be so many of those. I can't wait to see that continue to grow. And next up, we hope to have Ed Annunziata on the show. And we're also going to have Derek Slayton on the show here soon. He's the author of the Master System Encyclopedia. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before.
I've seen that. I was watching ProJar did a video on that the other day.
Yeah, it's right here. I have a soft-bound, paper-bound copy of it. It's really awesome. And Blake on the site wrote an incredibly awesome review that's really funny but informative on its own. Really great. So we're going to be posting our review of the Sega Master System Encyclopedia here very soon.
Where can I pick that up, actually?
Go to Amazon. I know it's on Amazon. I think that's where I bought it from. But I think there's some other places too. I'll tell you what, once we publish the review of it, you'll know exactly where to go get it.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome. The Nerdcast is available not just on YouTube, but you can find the audio versions on iTunes and Stitcher. Please go out to both of those and give us reviews. We definitely need more iTunes and Stitcher reviews. Let us know what you think about the show. If there's stuff that we can do better, please let us know. We always want to improve the show. Our goal is to give you the very best Sega podcast that we possibly can. And we're very proud of what we can do, but we know we can always do better. So let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what we can do better. And please go out and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can go out to Facebook, like our page on Facebook. It's facebook.com/theSegaNerds. You can also follow us on Twitter. It's twitter.com/SegaNerds. And I think that's going to do it. You know what? How about you guys? Why don't you tell everyone where they can follow you guys if they want to keep up with the Sega Nerds team? So, Christopher, what is your Twitter handle?
Yeah, as hopefully you guys can see in my thing right here, it's at GDL Enter. GDL Entertainment is this company that I founded to try to bring video game entertainment to as many people as I can. And Tuesday, I'll have my first bad Sega box art feature coming out. And the next Tuesday after that will be the next in my series of Sega games that should have changed history. And I'd really love more suggestions if you guys are like, oh, hey, like this is the best Sega game ever. You need to do a feature on that. But, like, you know, it's kind of obscure how many people know about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to play as many Sega games as I can and give them their shine. So, yeah, so it's been a lot of fun being here today, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Absolutely, I'm really excited to get that bad Sega box art feature going. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I you know we've been talking a lot behind the scenes, and I absolutely love the Sega games that should have changed history. I think that's just such an awesome original idea, and the series has been going really well so far. So we're definitely going to continue that going. Lots of good stuff there.
I read Shadow Squadron, and it was awesome, in my opinion.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Yeah. Because it's like, man, and I just thank God. Oh, I wanted to give another shout out to Saturn Memories, because I didn't know that Shadow Squadron actually really did get a sequel. And
yeah, for the Saturn. I forget the name of it though.
Stellar Assault was the UK title apparently of Shadow Squadron, so there is a Stellar Assault 2 on Saturn. And at Saturn Memories had some really good things to say about the article, some really nice feedback, and he told us a little bit about the Saturn version. So. Yeah, thanks to him. Definitely want to shout that out.
Yeah, that guy is very knowledgeable at all things Sega Saturn. And if you go to the forums, he actually has a Saturn Memories thread that he keeps up to date. Whenever he posts a new YouTube video, he'll go in there and post that as well. So just check that out if you want to learn more about Saturn games. He just basically does like long plays of these games, and it's really great. So check that out. Definitely, Saturn Memories is a very awesome Sega community member, and we're really happy to have him within our community. Awesome stuff. Jason, what about you, buddy?
You can reach me at Kusanagi765. I know it's not displayed on here, but that's pretty much my handle for everything: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
What's the background behind that name?
I've always been a fan of the King of Fighters series and the Ghost in the Shell as an anime, so it's kind of like a mixture of Kyo Kusanagi and Motoko Kusanagi. And 765 is a Ridge Racer reference. If you ever played most of the Ridge Racer games, almost every car's number was either 76 or 765. So it's basically just a combination of the two.
Very cool. That's actually pretty informative. That's pretty neat. And the magnificent Kopke. Where can we find you at, Kopke?
At Kopke. No, that works. That's it.
Awesome.
Just go to /Kopke at Facebook and Twitter, and that's it.
Awesome. And I don't know why you'd want to follow me, because I'm usually posting on the Sega Nerds account, but if you want to, it's at Air Force Writer. There we go. And
I know that guy.
Yeah.
I'll do right now.
I think that's going to do it for us for this week. Really great show. Glad to have you on for the first time, Christopher, and we'll definitely have you guys on again. Whenever you guys want to come on the show, we're all for it. You know, we'd love to have as many people as possible. That's going to do it for us. We will be back next week. We will see you later. Take it easy.
Adios.